Here's one that's kind of interesting to me. We hear a lot of information in the news about the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. How is the SBA helping small business when it comes to the Affordable Care Act?
So it might not seem necessarily intuitive that the SBA would be involved in the healthcare reform and the Affordable Care Act. But because of our close relationship with the small business community, the SBA has been charged with educating the small business community about the opportunities that the Affordable Care Act represents and also some of the obligations that it has for employers of a certain size. So our job has been primarily outreach and marketing so that we're out in the community. We're working with chambers of commerce. We're working with elected officials to bring together small businesses, talk to them about the Affordable Care Act and what it means to small business, and make sure that they have good information that they can take back with their trusted advisors, their attorneys, their tax people, and they can basically make good decisions on how they're going to deal with the potential implications of the Affordable Care Act, but also maybe make some decisions that they're going to provide health care to their employees because of the tax benefits that are available. So we aren't part of the implementation, but we are part of the education.
So if you want to educate me about the Affordable Care Act, and I'm a small businessman, because certainly I'm getting a lot of education about the negatives of the Affordable Care Act. Why don't you give me a little education about a couple of positives for small business about the Affordable Care Act?
So I think there's a couple of things that are key to remember about the Affordable Care Act. Number one, for businesses that have fewer than 25 employees, there's significant potential tax benefits to an employer that pays over 50% of the premiums for their employees, which include up to 50% of their costs. And it's a tax credit, so it comes right off the tax payment that they would make. So that's a huge benefit to the small businesses. The second piece is basically pooling risk. So through the marketplace, which is coming online on October 1st, the idea is that by going to the marketplace, all these small businesses are pooling risk. And I think it's notable that small businesses tend to pay about 18.7% more than large businesses for their health care. So by pooling these all these companies together and managing the risk across the broader set of small businesses, then, you know, if you have somebody who has a catastrophic injury or you have somebody who has really high healthcare costs for whatever reason, all that risk is being pooled across all these companies, so it lowers all of the rates across the board. So I think that what the intent is that small businesses will see a decrease in their premium costs over what they would have paid pre-Affordable Care Act, and that this will be another benefit to them as we see the pooling of the risk. So
you do monthly training sessions like on the 8A program. What kind of community touch? How would I interface with you if I, as a specific business, had a question around affordable care? Can I just call you up, Bo, and say, hey, I got a question on affordable care. What should I do?
Well, so you certainly can call me, and I probably can't give you specific information germane to your situation. Everybody's situation is different, but what I can do is hopefully point you in the right direction of somebody who can help you, or at least educate you on the kind of baseline. This is the law, this is what it says, and these are the responsibilities.
Yeah, I think the other thing to point out here is that the Affordable Care Act has a number of choices, and you as a small business person have to make the choices that are appropriate for your business. But this would actually be a good time of the year to talk to your tax advisor as you're doing your plan for 2014. Ask the question, how is this going to work in my business, and how can I make this potentially an advantage to my business? I really believe that people, employers who can articulate how the Affordable Care Act can be an advantage in their package they offer employees can be real positive.
For sure. I think, what we see in a lot of cases is if you're competing for a limited skill set of staff, this is a huge benefit that you can provide that's going to give you an edge over your competitors to get the right people in the right positions. So